The Reds are back in action on Monday as they take on Manchester United in the Premier League. In today's video, we will be discussing the huge news ahead of the clash as a twist has emerged. Not only that, but we will also be going over all of the latest news from up and down the country. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and join our fast-growing community. This video is sponsored by Klopp Clothing. Klopp Clothing is a Liverpool clothing site owned by match-going fans. Each design is limited edition and is perfect to wear on a match day, on the terraces at Anfield, down your local, or cozy in the comfort of your own home. As stated, each design is limited edition, and if a product is showing out of stock, they will not be restocking the item, so if you have your eye on something, grab it fast. Lastly, Klopp Clothing wants fellow Reds to be 100% satisfied with their orders, so if there is a reason you're not happy, they will refund you with no questions asked. Head over to kloppclothing.com or down into the link in the description to get all of your Liverpool merchandise. Anyway, let's get back into today's video. A 26-man squad trained at the AXA on Friday afternoon ahead of the weekend's clash with Manchester United, with Ibrahima Konate and Conor Bradley both involved. Liverpool have taken 2 steps forward and 1 step back in regards to their injury list over the last week, with Joe Gomez heading for the treatment room as Konate and Bradley plot their exit. Gomez is expected to be out for a few weeks, at least following his hamstring strain at West Ham. His fellow defenders, meanwhile, made a return to full training on Friday. Arne Slot had confirmed both Konate and Bradley would be involved in the session as he previewed Sunday's game, but noted Liverpool will need to wait and see how they handle the intensity. Their involvement at Anfield is questionable after a 37-day absence, but the pair did take part in the indoor and outdoor sessions 2 days out from Man United's visit. Virgil van Dijk sounded particularly delighted to have his centre-back partner back in the mix as he encouraged Konate, who was still sporting a strap on his knee during shooting drills. Jarell Quansah is still expected to partner the Dutchman on Sunday afternoon, his first league start since the trip to Newcastle. Notably, Federico Chiesa was involved after missing out on the squad last weekend. His absence was explained as another example of managing the Italian's fitness needs. The 27-year-old, who continues to be linked with an exit, will be expected to be named on the bench on Sunday though. Thankfully, there appeared to be no surprises as the squad was all accounted for, with the exception of Gomez, an enviable position to be in ahead of 8 games in January. James McConnell, Trey Nyoni, Jadon Dansandrio and Gamoha were flying the flag for the academy. They will each hope to get minutes in the FA Cup clash next weekend. In a giant twist, Liverpool's Premier League clash with Man United this weekend is at potential risk of being postponed due to adverse weather conditions. The Reds host their most bitter rivals on Sunday afternoon, in what on paper looks like one of the most one-sided clashes between the pair in years. Liverpool go into the game top of the league table and in imperious form, with a life under Arne Slot going seamlessly. On the flip side, United are languishing in 14th place and not yet firing, with Ruben Amorim in charge, already losing 6 of his first 11 games. Form can go out of the window in this fixture, however, as last season showed when Liverpool failed to win any of their 3 games against the Red Devils. There is a risk of Sunday's match not going ahead. However, with the Met Officer confirming that an amber weather warning has been issued for Merseyside. The forecast predicts snow and freezing rain, with disruptions also expected on public transport for those heading to Anfield. Supporters are urged to take extreme care if they are planning to make the trip, as well as check for the latest travel updates. In fact, snowfall as thick as 40 centimeters has even been predicted in some areas of the United Kingdom. It is worth stressing that the match certainly isn't under major threat of being called off, but equally, it isn't a given that it will go ahead. For Liverpool, it would be hugely frustrating to see another high-profile game against big rivals postponed. Last month's final Merseyside derby against Everton at Goodison Park was called off due to high winds, meaning the Reds now have a game in hand on most of the Premier League. To have another fixture to catch up on would be far from ideal, not least because Liverpool's schedule in the Champions League and domestic cup competitions is already hectic. At this stage, it would be a surprise if the showdown with United didn't go ahead though, on a day that will hopefully see Slot's side pick up 3 more points. In other news, Liverpool head coach Arne Slot has faith in Red supporters, having Trent AlexanderArnold's back this weekend, despite doubts over his future. It has been another key week of contract claims regarding Alexander-Arnold, as well as Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah for that matter. For the former though, it feels increasingly as though he is the most likely of the 3 to move on in 2025, with Real Madrid circling like vultures. The reigning Champions League holders have reportedly offered £20 million to sign Alexander-Arnold in January, but Liverpool are holding firm. Speaking to the media ahead of the Reds' Premier League clash with Man United on Sunday, Slot admitted he has faith in the fans staying on his vice-captain's side at Anfield. "Our fans have always been so supportive and have been supporting their team and their players for so many years," Slot said. "I fully trust that they will react in the right manner because we've been constantly together in the half year I have been here, and I think that is something that stands out here, that for so many years the team and the fans have been together. That has created so many special games and so many special things for this club that they don't need me to tell them how they should react." This comes after Slot also said that Alexander-Arnold is fully committed and giving his all for Liverpool as they search for a second Premier League title this season. The situation surrounding the 26-year-old is a tricky one, with some frustrated at the prospect of losing a generational talent on a free transfer this summer. There are echoes of Steve McManaman's free switch to Madrid back in 1999, which ultimately hurt his reputation among the Liverpool fanbase, and Alexander-Arnold could go the same way. It is worth stressing that the player himself has made no desire yet of wanting to leave his boyhood club though, and he may simply be weighing up his future still. Either way, Alexander-Arnold's commitment cannot be questioned at all, not least after a superb performance at West Ham last weekend. Hopefully, Liverpool supporters show their love for him against United on Sunday, with the title race having to take primary focus both with players and fans alike. Lastly, goalkeeper Marcelo Puga has been a regular in first-team training over the last few years, but is now expected to return to his native Brazil permanently. The 22-year-old signed a £1.8 million deal to make the move to Merseyside in 2020, and readily found himself part of Jurgen Klopp's first-team squad while appearing for the club's under-21s. Puga arrived from Fluminense after being spotted by former goalkeeper coach John Achterberg, who noticed the young keeper during Brazil's triumphant campaign in the under-17 World Cup in 2000 and 2019. He was held in high regard by those within Klopp's first-team setup, but has experienced varying degrees of success when sent out on loan to Macclesfield, St Patrick's Athletic and Livingston. Despite still being on loan at the latter, reports in Brazil have stated that the young goalkeeper is now set to rejoin Fluminense on a free transfer. O Globo adds that the move will be on a free transfer and that it was Liverpool who sought to make the deal after Puga voiced his desire to return to Brazil and his former club. While there is to be no transfer fee, Liverpool will acquire 40% of Puga's rights. This will entitle them to a future fee if he is sold later in his career. As above mentioned, Puga is still at Livingston, having agreed to a season-long loan deal, but with just 2 appearances and none since November, a recall is imminent to sign off on this move. The 22-year-old will not be arriving at Fluminense as their first choice, as 44-year-old Fabio has that role, while Vitor Yudes is expected to be retained as the backup option. Puga never made a first-team appearance for Liverpool, but was named in a matchday squad 7 times across the 2021-22 and 2023-24 seasons. That brings us to the end of today's video. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed it, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more daily Liverpool content. Thank you.